In the vast expanse of the Warhammer 40k universe, a story of defiance and destiny unfolds. Join us as we dive into the thrilling saga of Harbinger Unleashed. Embark on a journey with the Harbinger, a lone wanderer turned galaxy's sentinel, as it confronts the ancient and enigmatic Necron threat. From the depths of a forgotten crypt to the brink of galactic awareness, witness the Harbinger's transformation from an outcast to a herald of a looming danger. Don't miss a moment of this epic journey. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tales of bravery and mystery in the Warhammer 40k universe. The saga awaits. Prologue: The Ominous Drift. In the uncharted reaches of the galaxy, where the fabric of space weaves into the unknown, a lone entity known as the Harbinger glided silently through the cosmic expanse. Its form, an amalgamation of its Tyranid origins and newfound autonomy, moved with a purpose that transcended mere survival. Having parted ways with the forces of the Imperium, it found itself drawn to the mysteries that lay hidden in the darkest corners of space. It was during one such voyage, far from the war-torn frontiers of known civilizations, encountering a relic of an age long past, an ancient Necron tomb ship. Adrift amidst the starlit void, the ship was a colossal structure of menacing design and dark purpose. Its hull, scarred by the passage of eons, bore the silent testament to countless battles and forgotten histories. It floated in space like a spectre, a ghostly remnant of the Necron's once mighty empire. As the Harbinger approached, a sense of unease filled its consciousness. This was no ordinary derelict. The ship exuded an aura of latent power, a dormant yet palpable force that seemed to beckon the Harbinger closer. Compelled by an insatiable curiosity and an inherent desire to understand, the Harbinger moved towards the silent vessel. The closer it got, the more the Harbinger felt the weight of countless millennia that surrounded the cryptic ship. It was as if the very vacuum of space around it was steeped in a history both ancient and ominous. The tomb ship, a relic of a bygone era, held secrets that were not meant for the living. Chapter 1. Into the Necron's lair. The void of space was a realm of infinite mysteries, and within its silent expanse the Harbinger now found itself at the threshold of one such enigma. The ancient Necron tomb ship, a monolithic structure of ominous design, loomed before it like a cryptic fortress lost in time. With a cautious approach, the Tyranid penetrated the ship's outer defenses, its senses attuned to the slightest hint of danger. The interior was a vast labyrinth of metallic corridors and towering chambers, each adorned with the intricate iconography of the Necrons. The air was cold and still, as if untouched for millennia. Moving with purpose, its footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The tomb ship felt abandoned, yet every shadow seemed to hold a lurking threat, every corner a potential trap. The atmosphere was oppressive, charged with a sense of foreboding that weighed heavily. As it ventured further, the Harbinger discovered remnants of the Necron's ancient legacy. Crypts lined with dormant warriors, their skeletal forms clad in tarnished armor, stood in silent vigil. Vast arrays of alien machinery, their purpose long forgotten, hummed with latent power. Realization became apparent. It was traversing a mausoleum of a once mighty empire, a testament to the Necron's dark and storied past. Moving in deeper into the bowels of derelict ship, the more palpable the sense of danger became. Navigating through traps and security measures, remnants of the Necron's advanced technology designed to protect their slumbering legions, it was a place where time seemed to have stood still, a relic of an ancient war that had once scorched the stars. In the heart of the tomb ship it stumbled upon a grand chamber. Here the air crackled with energy, and the walls pulsed with a sinister light. At the chamber's center stood an imposing sarcophagus, its surface etched with glyphs that glowed with an eerie luminescence. As the Harbinger approached, the sarcophagus began to open with a hiss of escaping air. From within, a figure emerged. A Necron lord, its mechanical body gleaming with malevolent intent, its eyes burning with the cold fire of ancient hatred fixed upon the Harbinger. In that moment the tomb ship sprang to life. The dormant warriors began to stir, their eyes lighting up with the same baleful glow. The Harbinger realized it had awoken a slumbering army, and with it the wrath of a civilization that had defied death itself. Surrounded and outnumbered, Tyranid legacy sprang to life, preparing to confront the awakened Necron Lord and its legions. This was no longer a silent crypt. It was a lair of dangers reawakened, a battlefield whether for survival. Chapter 2. The Chambers of Experimentation. In the forbidding depths of the Necron tomb ship, the Harbinger found itself confined within a ghastly laboratory, a chamber of horrors where Necron cryptechs, with their cold, calculating precision, conducted their relentless experiments. This grim domain was a nexus of pain and dark curiosity, where captives from various species were subjected to the unfathomable machinations of their captors. The chamber was a grotesque display of the Necron's mastery over life and death. Amongst the array of advanced machinery and ominous artifacts, captives from different corners of the galaxy were restrained. Each was a specimen, a puzzle to be solved in the Necron's quest for knowledge and power. The Harbinger, though restrained, was not without its unique abilities. Recognizing that not all species present were capable of telepathy, it reached out with its own psychic prowess to forge a mental link among the captives. This act of unity was a beacon in the darkness, a silent rebellion against the isolation imposed by their captors. Through this telepathic network facilitated by the Harbinger, a silent symphony of thoughts and emotions began to flow between the captives. The Eldar Farseer, with her deep well of wisdom, the Orc, whose raw thoughts were tinged with a surprising depth, the human officer carrying memories of home and battle, and many others, each began to share their stories, their fears, and their hopes. In this communion of minds, a tapestry of experiences unfolded. The captives spoke of their worlds, the lives they had led, and the fateful events that led to their capture. The Harbinger listened and shared in turn, its own tale one of transformation and newfound self-awareness. Amidst the despair, a bond of camaraderie was forged. They were no longer just prisoners. They were allies, united by a common enemy and a shared desire for freedom. In this exchange of thoughts, a plan of escape began to take shape. Despite their physical constraints and the daunting presence of the cryptechs, they found strength in their unity. Their plan was a dangerous gambit, hinging on precise timing and the element of surprise. It required every captive to play a part, leveraging their unique strengths and abilities. The Harbinger, at the center of this telepathic network, coordinated their efforts, channeling the collective will of the group. As the hours passed, the sense of impending revolt grew. The chamber, once a place of silent suffering, was now charged with a clandestine energy. The captives, each a different piece of the galaxy's diverse mosaic, were ready to act. United by the Harbinger's psychic link, they prepared to strike, to turn the Chamber of Horrors into a battleground for their freedom. Chapter 3. Bonds of the Mind. In the suffocating confines of the Necron experimentation chamber, an extraordinary alliance was forged. The Harbinger, utilizing its potent psychic abilities, had become not only a conduit for communication among the captives, but also a symbol of unity and hope. In the silent communion of minds, a bond of unspoken understanding and shared purpose was formed. The disparate group of prisoners, each from a world and culture far removed from the others, began to see past their differences. In the collective mental space created by the Harbinger, an Eldar Farseer shared ancient wisdom, her thoughts tinged with a sense of loss and resilience. The Orc, surprisingly insightful in his brutish way, offered raw strength and a straightforward perspective on escape. The human officer, disciplined and tactical, contributed a strategic mindset honed on the battlefields of distant planets. As their thoughts intertwined, a mosaic of experiences and skills emerged. The Harbinger, at the center of this mental network, absorbed their fears, hopes, and determination. It became the guardian of this fragile alliance, the keeper of a silent rebellion brewing under the noses of their captors. Within this telepathic realm, plans for a revolt were meticulously crafted. Each captive, contributing their unique insights, helped shape a strategy that could exploit the weaknesses of the Necron ship and its masters. They shared knowledge of Necron technology, pieced together from observations and experiences, forming a blueprint for sabotage and chaos. Under the cold gaze of the cryptex, their mental whispers grew bolder, weaving a tapestry of rebellion. The Harbinger, understanding the risks of their endeavor, tempered the rising fervor with caution. It knew that timing and precision were crucial, and that even the smallest error could lead to their undoing. This silent conspiracy, born of necessity and desperation, grew stronger with each passing moment. The captives, once isolated in their suffering, now found strength in their unity. They were no longer just prisoners of the Necrons, they were comrades in arms, bound by a shared goal of freedom. As the Harbinger subtly directed the flow of ideas and strategies, a sense of anticipation filled the chamber. Each captive, mentally rehearsing their role in the impending revolt, braced for the moment when they would strike against their oppressors. The Necron chamber, a place of despair and darkness, was about to become the birthplace of an uprising, a testament to the indomitable spirit of those bound by the bonds of the mind. Chapter 4. The Spark of Rebellion. In the shadowed heart of the Necron tombship, a silent storm was brewing. The captives, united by the Harbinger's psychic link, had woven a meticulous plan for rebellion. Tension simmered in the air, palpable even in the oppressive silence of their prison. The moment to strike was upon them. It arrived unexpectedly, a brief distraction among the cryptex, a rare lapse in the relentless vigilance of their captors. Seizing this fleeting opportunity, the Harbinger initiated the revolt with a surge of psychic energy, a signal to the others that the time for action had come. Chaos erupted in the experimentation chamber. The once subdued and compliant prisoners turned into a coordinated force of defiance. The Eldar Farseer, with her ancient prowess, conjured illusions to disorient the Necron guards. The Orc, embodying raw fury, lunged at their captors with primal strength. The human officer, leveraging tactical acumen, led a group to sabotage the ship's internal systems. The Harbinger, at the center of this maelstrom, moved with purpose and power. It tore through its restraints and engaged the Necron warriors in a fierce struggle. Its form, both ethereal and formidable, became a beacon of rebellion, inspiring the captives to fight with renewed vigor. The corridors of the tombship transformed into a battleground. The cold metal halls echoed with the sounds of conflict, the clang of weapons, the roar of the Orc, and the determined shouts of the human and other captives. The Necrons, unaccustomed to such resistance, responded with ruthless efficiency, their mechanical bodies moving with lethal precision. Amidst the chaos, the captives fought desperately, not just for survival, but for a chance at freedom. They moved through the ship, engaging Necron warriors at every turn, exploiting their knowledge of the ship's layout to create diversions and confusion. The Harbinger, leveraging its psychic abilities, coordinated the efforts of its makeshift army. It communicated strategies and warnings, guiding the captives through the ship's labyrinthine corridors towards their objective, the main control room. From there they could disable the ship and escape. As the battle raged, the Harbinger and its allies carved a path through the heart of the Necron ship. The spark of rebellion, ignited in the depths of despair, had become a blazing inferno of resistance. The captives, each fighting with the strength of 10, pushed forward, determined to shatter the chains of their captivity once and for all. The corridors, once a symbol of their oppression, were now the stage of their uprising. The Harbinger, leading the charge, felt the weight of their collective hopes and the burden of their shared struggle. This was more than an escape. It was a fight for the very essence of freedom and self-determination. Chapter 5. A Desperate Escape. The rebellion aboard the Necron tomb ship reached a fever pitch, the air charged with desperation and defiance. In the midst of the frenzied uprising, the Harbinger and its fellow captives fought with a ferocity born of their longing for freedom. The corridors, once silent and oppressive, now rang with the clamor of battle and the cries of the determined. As the Harbinger led the charge, a glimmer of hope emerged amidst the chaos. A route to the ship's exit, long guarded and now exposed in the heat of the conflict, became their target. With a surge of collective resolve, the group made a break for the opening, each step taking them closer to liberation. The escape was fraught with peril. Necron warriors, unyielding and relentless, pursued the captives with ruthless efficiency. Their mechanical forms, impervious to fear and fatigue, advanced with an inexorable determination. The captives, armed with nothing but their resolve and improvised weapons, fought back with every ounce of their strength. In the telepathic link, the voices of the captives echoed with urgency and fear. The Eldar Farseer, her voice a calming presence, guided and encouraged her companions. The Orc's booming mental presence, once full of bravado, now carried a tone of grim determination. The human officer, his strategic insights invaluable, coordinated their movements, covering their retreat. But the odds were against them. One by one, the voices in the Harbinger's mind began to fade. The Eldar Farseer, overwhelmed by Necron immortals, sent a final message of farewell before her presence vanished. The Orc, fighting valiantly, was overrun, his mental shout of defiance abruptly silenced. The human officer and the others fell in a last stand, their telepathic echoes dwindling into nothingness. The Harbinger's mind was heavy with the weight of loss. It was now the sole bearer of their collective hope, the only remnant of the desperate alliance. With the path to escape narrowing and the Necrons closing in, the Harbinger summoned every bit of its strength and cunning. Through twisted corridors and past the remnants of ancient battles, the Tyranid raced. The Necrons were relentless, their emerald eyes glowing with a cold, unyielding purpose. But, fueled by the memories and sacrifices of its fallen comrades, the creature surged ahead. As it neared the exit, the reality of its situation sank in. It was the lone survivor of a revolt born from desperation. The cost of freedom was etched in the silence that now filled its mind, a stark contrast to the once vibrant chorus of telepathic voices. With a final burst of speed, the Harbinger emerged from the confines of the ship, breaking free into the cold expanse of space. The tomb ship, a crypt of both horrors and hope, fell behind, a silent witness to the fierce struggle for liberation that had unfolded within its walls. Chapter 6. Echoes of the Fallen. In the aftermath of the harrowing escape from the Necron tomb ship, the Harbinger found itself adrift in the vast emptiness of space, the debris of the doomed vessel a silent testament to the chaos that had unfolded. As it journeyed away from the wreckage, the Harbinger was engulfed in a profound solitude, the weight of its survival pressing heavily upon it. The silence of space was filled with the echoes of the fallen. The Harbinger's mind, once a vibrant nexus of telepathic communication, now resonated with the haunting memories of those who had perished. The brave Eldar Farseer, the defiant Orc warrior, the resolute human officer, each voice had been extinguished, yet their presence lingered in the Harbinger's consciousness. As it traversed the cold, starlit expanse, the Harbinger reflected on the sacrifices of its unlikely comrades. Their courage, their determination, and their final moments were etched into its being. It grappled with a torrent of emotions, guilt for being the sole survivor, grief for the lost, and a burgeoning sense of responsibility for their unfulfilled aspirations. Amidst this introspection, the Harbinger's purpose began to crystallize. The rebellion on the tomb ship, though fraught with loss, had ignited a spark within it. The Harbinger realized that its journey could no longer be one of mere survival or aimless wandering. The threat of the Necrons, a peril it had witnessed firsthand, was too great, too insidious to be left unchecked. Determined to honor the memory of the fallen, the Harbinger resolved to take a stand against the Necron menace. It understood that the galaxy remained largely unaware of the impending danger lurking within these ancient crypts. The Harbinger, with its unique understanding of the Necrons and their capabilities, found itself propelled into a role it had never anticipated, a guardian against the darkness. As it charted a course to the nearest star system, the Harbinger contemplated its newfound mission. It was no longer just an outcast or a curiosity. It had become a sentinel at the edge of an unfolding crisis. The memories of its fallen allies would serve as a guiding light, their hopes and dreams fueling its resolve. In the quiet of space, the Harbinger vowed to carry on their legacy. Each star, each world it would visit, would be a step toward thwarting the Necron threat. The Harbinger's journey had taken an unexpected turn, and it now faced a path fraught with challenges and dangers. But it was a path it accepted with determination, driven by the echoes of the fallen. Chapter 7. The Turning Tide. The Harbinger, traversing the vastness of space, carried with it the heavy burden of the fallen. In the wake of its harrowing experience aboard the Necron tomb ship, a new resolve had taken shape. It was no longer a mere observer of the galaxy's unfurling chaos. It had become an active participant in its unfolding destiny. Reaching the outskirts of a familiar star system, it paused. Here, amidst the celestial bodies and drifting debris of ancient conflicts, it contemplated its next move. The echoes of its former allies reverberated in its consciousness, guiding its thoughts. It was time to conclude this chapter of its journey. With a newfound clarity, the Harbinger set about its final task. It broadcast a powerful psychic message across the nearby systems, a message imbued with urgency and a call for vigilance. The message contained the knowledge of the Necrons, the potential threat they posed, and the necessity for unity against such ancient foes. As the message disseminated through the stars, reaching outposts, colonies, and wandering ships, the Harbinger felt a sense of completion. It had done what it could to alert the galaxy to the hidden danger. Now the responsibility lay with those who had heard its warning. A solitary figure against the backdrop of the cosmos realized that its journey had come to a natural end. It had evolved from a Tyranid outcast to a beacon of warning against a galactic threat. Its tale was one of transformation, resilience, and the enduring quest for purpose. Now ready to embrace a new path, drifted away from the star system, its mission accomplished. It left behind a galaxy more aware, if only slightly, of the shadows that lurked in its depths. As it ventured into the unknown, the Harbinger reflected on its journey. It had witnessed the depths of despair and the heights of courage. It had been a catalyst for change, a herald of warning. The stories of those who had fought alongside it would live on, not just in its mind, but in the collective consciousness of the galaxy. In the endless dance of stars and worlds, the cosmos awaited, full of mysteries and wonders, and the Harbinger, a creature of change and resilience, journeyed on.